Next section is notifications. So this page will list any notifications that would be sent via email from AView to you. And this is a way that you can go back and look at old notifications that may have been sent instead of having to dig through an email to find them. Let's go ahead and subscribe to a device and organization so we can show how subscriptions work and profiles for notifications are set up. So let's go ahead and subscribe to a gateway device. So I'm going to select one of my devices here. And once I'm on the device details page for this particular device, there's a subscribe button here at the top of the page. If I click this button, it'll give me a prompt to say select a particular notification profile. Right now I only have the default notification, which I can specify and subscribe to using that default profile. But let's go ahead and create a new one. So we're going to call this test profile. And you can see that notifications for each device type can be specified here. So you can apply this profile to several different devices or a whole entire organization that has multiple types of devices in it. So let's go ahead and set up some notifications for gateway and cellular devices. So I want to know some of these immediately. And then if you subscribe to it immediately, that means that if the event that causes the device to go down, or if a device is recovered because of an event coming in, it will send that alert immediately to me. And then you can also specify to receive alerts every so often. So if I select every hour for a couple of these, that means that if an event occurs, such as the device rebooting or the backup WAN auto test failing for the VPN Gateway device, I will receive an email within the hour of that event happening on the hour. If you subscribe to multiple devices here, you will receive a bulk list of any device rebooted or backup when auto test failed alerts within the hour because of these notifications. And let's go ahead and subscribe to some cellular notifications with some, and we'll give it some similar notification options. So once I've done selecting all the notifications that I would like to receive, we'll go ahead and click create. And you can see that once I created that new profile, since I clicked subscribe as part of that process, automatically subscribed me to this particular device. If I wanted to unsubscribe, I can do that by clicking the unsubscribe button here. So say with this profile, I actually wanted to apply to an entire organization as well, so I can receive alerts for any gateway or cellular devices in that organization. I can do that by selecting the organization here, which actually gives me a list of the devices in that particular organization. And then I can click the subscribe button, similar to how it was listed on the device details page. And then I can select the profile that I had set up before and click subscribe. You can see that it's successfully done. Now if I go to my accounts page, in the notification subscriptions tab, you'll see that I have subscribed to that particular device and organization listed here, and the profile that I have subscribed it to. Now if I need to change this profile, I can do so, and then it'll affect any alerts that would be sent out going forward. So if I decide that I did not want to receive device up alerts immediately, I can receive them once every hour. I can do that, and it'll apply to any alerts for device recovered for VPN Gateway devices going forward. This is the organization section of AView. So this lists the organizations that my user has access to, and I'll list them as organizations and sub-organizations if the organization is set up underneath another one. And you can see that there are particular actions that we can do with the organization here, such as creating a new organization. So for creating new organizations, you can either select the new organization button up here, or if there's a particular organization that you want it to be underneath, you can do so by selecting the new sub-organization button here, and you can give it a unique name. These are permissions that we use to apply to users that we are going to add for this new organization. So if I'm creating a user and I assign it to this new organization called test sub-organization, we can give them certain abilities by default by checking certain ones of these, or we can go ahead and check all of them. And these can be changed later on. So if I go back to the organizations page, you can see that the new sub-organization is created. Now, if I need to change the permissions or abilities of that organization, I can do so by selecting this roles icon here. And the roles list all the different permissions that users within this organization can have. So if I need to change that and then remove one of these abilities, I can do that here and update it. In the role section, you can see that there's currently only one role that the users in this organization can be applied to. And right now it's the admin role. So say we need to have another role for view-only users, so we can do that by creating a new role here and specifying it as view-only. And we can specify specific permissions for this view-only user. Since they're view-only, we don't want them modifying anything, and then we don't really want them replacing devices, but we do want them to be able to view things. So let's give them the ability to view these configuration options and admin panels. You can see their help boxes here provide additional details for the permission type. So once I'm done selecting the appropriate permissions, I can click create, and you can see that the new role is available. So if I need to create a new user, I could do so here. Give them a test name. Specify a new password for them, and the user can change this whenever they log in by using the lost password option. Specify a time zone for them, and then in the permissions, I can specify either that admin or view only permission. So let's go ahead and give them the view only one and click create. So you can see the new user was created, and if I look at its permissions, it'll give me the view only permission for this one user. So if I log in as this user, I won't be able to modify devices, but I would be able to view anything in the site. If you need to delete the user, you could do so by clicking this delete user button. The user sections will also list any users that are associated with the organizations you have access to. So you can see the test demo user that I created earlier, as well as other users that are associated with this organization. And you can click on any user to provide additional details about them, view their permissions that they have to different organizations. So you can see that this user only has access to this test sub-organization. And then back on the users page, you can delete users by clicking the X icon here. And also new users can be created by clicking on the add user button up here. Another option we can do for user access is we can provide access to users for other organizations that they wouldn't normally be able to access. So for example, this test user only has access to this test sub-organization right now. And if I go look at the organizations I have access to, you can see there are 4 listed here. And this test sub-organization is listed at the bottom of this list of sub-organizations. Let's say we want to give this test sub-organization and that user within it access to USARMT. We can do that by clicking the permissions for the test sub-organization and then add a new permission for the USARMT organization. And we go ahead and click create. You can see that the USARMT permission is now available as part of this test sub organization. So if I go back to the users page and then select that test user and its permissions, I can then select the new permission to add the ability for the user to access USARMT. So you can see that the test user now has access to both these organizations, one as a view-only user and the other as an admin for this particular organization. The admin panel section can be found by clicking the admin icon at the top right of the header toolbar, and is used for importing devices into Accelerated View and also adding new configuration schemas for Remote Manager and Data IP devices. To add new devices into Accelerated View, you can click this new import icon, and you would want to upload a file so that way you can specify a list of devices. And once you select upload, you can actually download a template CSV file. And in that template CSV file, you can see the fields that the importer is looking for, such as the MAC address of the device's serial, the configuration name if you want to specify a configuration template to apply to the device while importing, as well as other details for the device. Once you have all the device details filled in, you'll need to also specify the type as accelerated, and you choose the file that you've saved onto your system that has the import details, and then you click the import button. And I'll give you results here on the admin panel once the process is complete. And you can click on the ID of the import to gain further details about which devices were imported, and if any devices were imported, and the status of it, and the name of the file that was uploaded. This concludes the demo of the Accelerated View monitoring platform. If you'd like to delve further into Accelerated View, you can view the user's guide for Accelerated View by clicking on this link here. If you'd like to contact Accelerated Concepts, you can contact our support line by either emailing us or by contacting us via phone number. Either methods are listed under the support section here in the contact page, or you can send us an email directly from the Accelerated Concepts website.